Hi everybody, I want to give you a little bit of an overview for this week's module, so bear with me here. It's module 12, I think. Let's get down there and prove it. 12. Okay, so module 12 is really, what in the book is called the meaning of life, but here I've titled it after the two greatest questions in Buddhism, in Zen Buddhism, which are, who are you and why are you here? It's basically the same question as what is the meaning of life. And what we're going to look at in this module is how different philosophers and individuals have worked to answer that question. And it really does make a difference because some people define or work out the meaning of life from an external set of beliefs, and some from an internal set of beliefs. Ultimately, we have to make decisions about who we are and why we're here, unless we just are comfortable going with the flow, as they do in Taoism. But even then, I'm not sure you can completely give up on asking these interesting questions. So, basic layout that you've seen before. The overview's here. There's a chapter in the book called The Meaning of Life. I suggest you at least give that a good, careful skim. The slides are here. There will be, or there is right here, a lecture. Who am I and why am I here? And then I want you to watch The History of the World in 18 minutes. That's going to come into play down here in the two assignments. So that's the content. I would give some time to all of the content in order to do your best on these assignments. Two assignments. Discussion assignment that has to do with the question of progress. You're going to watch this short video on the illusion of progress. Now, what I want you to think about here is we talk a lot about progress, and we think a lot about progress as being linear, right? That progress builds on progress. But actually, a lot of philosophers argue with that. And even those who are specialists in the philosophy of science argue that we really don't accumulate meaning by adding a bunch of little pieces together. We seem to encounter meaning with kind of major ahas. So we'll be working on our little pieces, and then all of a sudden over here, boom, something happens. But it's not necessarily in relation to these little pieces. So I want you to think about progress. I want you to think about it in terms of what you're taught it is, and possibly what it could be. Could there be a different model for progress? Could we be living in ever widening circles, for instance, where things come around, connect, and then we get huge paradigm shifts? I don't know what the answer is. I'm just throwing stuff out there, and I'd like you to be able to think through some new ways of describing progress as well. So that's that one. All right. And then down here, where is it? Okay. This is one of my favorite. This is you. You're going to come back to or live in this region of the country in the year 3000. And I want you to imagine what has changed, what will have stayed the same, what institutions have survived. Is the government still there? Are churches still there? Is Northwest Community College still there? And what counts as knowledge? How do we make sense of things in the year 2000? What do we consider sacred? What has become an obsolete idea? And who's in charge of telling us what is true? And how do we know that? And what do you think of the future? Think about concepts like justice, truth, happiness, knowledge. How are they understood in your world? And how do you feel about that? So there's some prompts here. I'd like you to give all the prompts careful attention. This is a 200-point assignment. So you should give a good amount of time to this. Do not use Mr. AI. I think by now we've determined, those of you who've gone down that road, that that's probably not a good long-term plan. So I want to hear it in your own words, with your own creativity. Consider you're writing a speculative fiction, right, about what could be, and you're the main character in the book. All right, so that's basically it. This is one of my favorite units, and that is one of my favorite assignments. So I would ask you to give it careful attention, and if you have any questions about it, please let me know. Otherwise, we will saunter on down the road. We are nearing the end. We have one more unit after this. Imagine that. The semester will be done and the holidays will be here. Take care. See you later.